Hello and warm welcome to all of you. Dear students, I have completed the explanation of civic chapter number 5, judiciary. Inshallah, I will provide you the notes of the chapter in the form of PDF. After the proper explanation of the chapter, hope all of you are able to solve NCERT exercise from your textbook. Today I am here with the explanation of some additional question from the same chapter. Question number 1: what is a judicial system and what is its role in dispute resolution? Answer: judicial system is a mechanism of courts that a citizen can approach when law is violated. Judicial system is a system of court in our country, and a citizen of the country can approach the court when law is violated. Judicial system play very significant role in resolving dispute between. The importance of judicial system in dispute resolution in the following manner: dispute between citizen, dispute between citizen and the government, dispute between two state governments, and dispute between state government and central government. Question number 2: what is an independent judiciary? Explain. Answer: Indian Constitution provides for independence of judiciary. It means that other branches of the state such as legislature and executive cannot interfere in the work of the judiciary. As per the Constitution of India, the other branches of the government, three branches of the government are there: legislature, executive and judiciary. So the other two branches of the government means legislature and executive cannot interfere in the work of judiciary. The courts are not under the government and do not act on their behalf. As per the guideline of the Constitution, courts are not under the government, not under the control of the government, and they do not act on the behalf of the government. The court ensure that there is no misuse of power of the legislature and executive. Even judiciary play important role. Judiciary stop legislature and executive in misusing of their power. Judiciary has right to stop legislature and executive when they are misusing their power. Anyone can approach the court if they find that their fundamental rights have been violated. In our country, every citizen has right to approach the court if fundamental rights of his or her are violated. So we can say that the courts are not influenced by anyone, not even by the rich and powerful people, not by legislature, not by executive. So this way we can say that judiciary work independently without interference of legislature and executive. Even judiciary is not under the control of the government or do not work on the behalf of the government. So this way in our country there is an independent judiciary system. Question number 3. What is the structure of the courts in India? Answer. There are 3 different levels of courts in India. At the lower level, we have subordinate court or district court. And these courts are presided by district judges. At the lower level, at the bottom level, we can say that we have subordinate courts or district courts. And these courts are presided by district judges. At the state level, we have high courts. At present, there are 25 high courts in our country. High court at the state level is the highest court of the state. High court is the highest court of the state. At the top level, we have Supreme Court. And Supreme Court is the foremost court, is the apex court in our country. Supreme Court of India is located at New Delhi and is presided by Chief Justice of India. So this way we can say that the structure of the court from the lower to the highest level is such in our country that it resembles a pyramid. Question number 4. Write a brief note on public interest litigation. Answer. Public interest litigation means PIL is a mechanism devised by Supreme Court of India in the early years of 1980 to increase access to justice for the people of the country. PIL, public interest litigation, is a mechanism introduced by Supreme Court of India in early 1980s to provide justice to all the sections of the society. Under this mechanism, any individual or organization is allowed to file PIL in the High Court or the Supreme Court on behalf of those whose rights are being violated. As we discussed in the explanation of the chapter, poor people of our country they not preferring the court because of the long process, because of more paperwork, and even it involves lot of money to access to the court. So for the access to justice to all the people, Government of India started PIL. Under this mechanism, under this system, any individual or organization is allowed to file PIL in Supreme Court or High Court, in High Court or Supreme Court, on behalf of those whose rights are being violated. And the system of PIL is very simple. Even a letter or telegram addressed to the Supreme Court or the High Court can be treated as PIL. The PIL system introduced by Supreme Court is very simple. A simple letter or telegram to addressing Supreme Court or High Court is treated as PIL. This way we can say that PIL play very significant role in providing justice to the common people of our country. Question number 5. In principle, the courts are accessible to all, but what happened in reality? Generally, we believe that the courts are accessible to all people, but what happened in reality? Answer. In principle, every citizen of India has right to justice through the court. It is our fundamental right. Right to constitutional remedy means all the citizens of country, they are free. They have right to access to court when their fundamental rights are violated by any individual or organization. Here we can say that right to constitutional remedy is very important for the protection of our fundamental rights. If any citizens find that their fundamental rights are violated, they can approach to the court. So this way we can say that in principle, courts are accessible to all. If any citizen's rights are being violated, they have right to approach to High Court or Supreme Court for the protection of their fundamental right. But things are not the same in reality. Access to court has always been tough for the poor. As I mentioned earlier in the previous question, poor people, they do not prefer to go to the court for access to justice. It is very tough for the poor people to access to the court, because these people do not dare to go to the court because they know that the legal procedures are very lengthy and complicated and involve lot of money. Our question was actually the court are accessible to all, but what happened in reality? As per the Constitution of India, right to access to court is our fundamental right. But for the poor people, they do not dare to go to court because the court procedures are very lengthy and complicated, and even it involves lot of money. So courts are accessible to all, but in reality courts are not accessible. Actually accessible to all, but poor people, they do not dare to go to the court because of the lengthy procedure, complicated procedure of the courts. Question number 6. Describe the different branches of the legal system. How do they differ from one another? Answer. There are two different, actually there are two branches of the legal system. Number one, civil and criminal. Civil law deals with the matter like money, property, marriage disputes, etc. While criminal law deals with the theft, murder, etc. Two branches of legal system is there. One, civil law, and number two, criminal law. Now what are the difference? Civil law deal with the harm or injury to rights of individuals such as dispute relating to sale of land, purchase of goods, marriage, rent matters. In these cases, this type of cases we can include in civil law. On the other hand, criminal law deals with conduct or act that the law define as offenses, illegal thing. Example, theft, robbery is there, cheating is there, physical injury, and murder is there. Civil cases begin with a petition that is filed before the relevant court by affected party only. On the other hand, criminal cases begin with the lodging of FIR with the police, and then after police investigate the crime, after which case filed in the court. So criminal cases begin with the lodging of FRI in the court. Civil cases begin with the file of petition in the court only by the affected party. In civil cases, if guilt is established against a person, then he can be sent to jail and also fined. Here you have to keep in mind one thing: when civil cases are there, so in such cases you have to keep in mind, in criminal cases, if person is found guilty, the accused person can be sent into jail and also fined by the court. In civil cases, the court gives specific relief asked for to the affected party. So these are some important questions from this chapter. Hope all of you are clear with the explanation of the answer of these questions. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Allah Hafiz.